I made this video because I witnessed the consequences of loneliness firsthand, and I felt somewhat compelled to create it. Let's understand first why it's crucial to address this issue. Loneliness is more than just a feeling of sadness. It can have serious consequences for our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. Studies have shown that loneliness is linked with increased stress levels, depression, and anxiety. Moreover, it can negatively impact our relationships, productivity, and overall quality of life. And think about it. Loneliness is often a significant factor in many suicides. That's why in this video, I'll show you a step-by-step guide to no longer feeling lonely. Before I can start with the guide, I need to clear up some confusion. What's the difference between loneliness and being alone? Being alone refers to not being physically interacting with people. This can be if you're single, don't have any friends, and don't get attention from the other gender. Loneliness, on the other hand, occurs when you may have people around you, but lack a meaningful connection with them. For instance, if you're part of a friend group but struggle to relate to its members. This could be due to differing interests, or feeling like certain members are closer to each other than they are to you. Now we got that out of the way, let's start with the step-by-step guide. The first thing you do is write down your interests and goals. Now you may think, how could this help me cure my loneliness? Let me explain. If you don't know your goals and interests, you won't know what kind of people you should surround yourself with. And then you will be in the situation, like I mentioned before, that you can't relate to those people. But choose your interests wisely. For example, if your hobbies include partying, alcohol, and drugs, don't be surprised if you end up surrounded by individuals who engage in degenerate behaviors and have social difficulties. And the worst part is, in the end, you become one of those people. And if not, you still feel lonely because you can't relate to them. However, if your hobbies include sports, reading, or general self-improvement, you will naturally connect with like-minded individuals. There is a saying that says, "You are one of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And this is so true. Okay, now pause the video, set a timer for 15 minutes and write your interests and your goals on a piece of paper or your notes app. Don't let anything distract you from thinking. When you're finished with your writing, look at it and think, what kind of people do have the same interests? Are these people you want to hang around with, or are these people you find awkward? Now that you know where to find these like-minded individuals, it's time to act. Here's the second next step. Change your personality. What does that mean? Let's say you decide to join a football club. You sign up and show up for your first session. Well, imagine you walk into the club room with confidence, introducing yourself to everyone you meet. Even if you're feeling nervous, simply acting outgoing and friendly can make a big difference. People will pick up on your energy and respond in kind. You may say now, but that's not who I am. Why should I fake my personality? My answer to that question is, well, you see that nobody likes your real personality. That's why you're lonely. And by the way, if you fake your personality long enough, that will be your new one. That's how our brain works. There are people who are born in a more social environment, which don't have to switch their personality because they were never socially awkward. And then there are people like you and me. Well, you know the drill. When you really like your personality and want to preserve it for a reason, I have a solution for you. Improve it. You might have some bad habits like going out too often or lying too much. Actually, this is the third step. Improve yourself. This is the part of the video where most people stop watching because they're too arrogant to want to improve themselves. They think that nothing is their fault, the universe is somehow against them, and all the other crap. Personally, I think everyone has something to improve on themselves. But how do you know what's bad about you and what should you improve? I mean, it's not only the fault of others because you're lonely. For example, let's say you realize you often interrupt people when they're talking. It's not that others aren't interesting, but you just can't seem to wait for your turn to speak. This behavior might push people away without you even realizing it. So that's something you could work on to improve your social interactions and build stronger connections. Another example is, you often cancel plans with friends at the last minute because you're feeling down or anxious. While it's understandable to prioritize self-care, constantly flaking out can make others feel undervalued or unimportant. This behavior might lead your friends to stop inviting you to events, leaving you feeling even more isolated. When you consistently engage in self-reflection, you'll notice significant improvements in your social life. It's not just about getting rid of bad habits, it's also about enhancing aspects of yourself that are just average. For instance, let's say you're an okay listener, but you tend to zone out or fidget while others are talking. By actively working on becoming a better listener, making eye contact, nodding and asking follow-up questions, you'll become more engaged in conversations and make others feel valued and understood. Now, make self-reflection a regular habit, not just in moments of difficulty, but also in moments of triumph. This allows you to learn from your successes and replicate them in the future, perhaps even surpassing them. Imagine you completed a challenging project ahead of schedule and received praise from your team. Instead of simply basking in the achievement, take a moment to reflect on what strategies and approaches contributed to your success. Did you prioritize tasks effectively? Did you communicate clearly with your team? By analyzing your achievements, you can apply these insights to future projects, setting yourself up for continued success. This were just examples. But if you want to lose your loneliness, you have to be self-reflecting. If you have any questions or suggestions so far, write it in the comments below. I try to help you. All right, let's move on to our last step, which is turning your acquaintances from your newfound interest, in this case football, into close friends with whom you can enjoy various activities. For instance, after bonding with your football buddies on the field, you might suggest grabbing a bite to eat together after practice. As your friendship grows, you could organise outings to watch live matches, join a local tournament as a team, or even explore other hobbies and interests outside of football together. By expanding your shared experiences beyond the football field, you'll deepen your connections and create lasting friendships. But now, how can you do this in detail? You approach one or two teammates and casually ask, "What are you doing later?" If they respond with nothing, you say, "I'm heading to Subway to grab a sandwich. Want to join me?" This type of question allows them to feel comfortable saying yes or no, as your plans are already set, and their answer won't affect your plans. It's much better than asking, "Hey, do you want to come eat dinner with me?" where their answer depends on whether you're going or not. And you don't come across as needy. All right, if they say yes, you've cleared the most difficult hurdle. Now, while grabbing your sandwich together, take the opportunity to ask more personal questions. Since they've joined you voluntarily, they likely enjoy your company and are open to getting to know you better. Being in a different environment than the football field allows them to see you not only as the football guy, but also as a cool and interesting person. This should fix your loneliness. If you have any type of questions, please write them in the comments below. The community and I are here to help you. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing and like the video, so more similar videos will be recommended on your page. On the left side of the screen you see a video, how to boost your testosterone. And on the right side of the screen you see a video on how to spot your midlife crisis. Have a nice Sunday, you watching Apex Rise.